Then
so you failed, in other words.
I didn't fail. I got a Division 3. Division 3, we have in Divisional, we have Division 1, Division 2, Division 3, Division 4.
Those one actually is for, I think also technical schools back in Kenya use the divisions.
Yeah.
And also diploma, some of the diplomas. Yeah.
So we have like Division 4, then we have 0, Division 0, which is fail.
Oh,
But
okay.
I got like, I was somewhere in the middle.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, fail. So I was in the 3, right? I didn't fail.
Below
I
average.
planned it. Like after doing analysis of my state of affairs,
You had planned to fail.
said I need a Division 3 at least to get me to college. Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. Yeah.
So then
Yeah.
the government police changed, and I was not like, there was a public letter, public information that you need to have at least 2D go to uni. And here I am. I have all
messed up.
these. Yeah. So I remember the day result came out. I was at home with I told my dad. It was a moment of, it wasn't a good moment. It was a very sad time.
The DNA has failed.
Yeah, the genius of the family has failed. So good thing is the A level results are not so much popular in our country. That's the good thing. I remember the O levels results. Everybody was always be calling my dad like, "Hey, how is Justine's results?" I'd be like,
Superstar.
he got a Division 1. He's doing well. Yeah. He did Division 1. He did nice. Yeah, so the aunties, the uncles, I can't imagine if the A levels results were O level. And that would have been so bad. Yeah. So I remember, so my younger sister came back home that day when the results had came out from school. He goes to a day. She was going to a day school. Day school. Yeah. She came home. Our last born. We were seated at home, very silent. Had my aunt there. Everybody was very quiet. She was like, she went near dad and was like, happened? Why this vibe? So
Everyone is sad.
Yeah, everyone is sad. Justine's results came out. She also like went out of energy. She sat at the couch and so if Justine,
at first they thought maybe you had failed, or
okay. If Justine, because like nobody like, because the thing is I can't go to college. That was the problem. Not because I've failed, because I can't go to college. Anyways, even if I've not failed, but I can't go to college. So what
was the difference?
What's the difference? Actually, even my dad's assumption was that I've failed. Until later when I presented to him my certificate, he was like, "You didn't even fail, you passed it."
It's only the policy change a while.
The policy changed back then. So my younger sister said this, like, if Justine has done this, if Justine can't do it, how about us? How about me?
Yeah.
Right? My dad was like, no, Justine is a different person. You're a different person. Everybody has their own abilities, and Dad had to explain that. Yeah. So here I was now. I went through a very tough situation, a very tough time myself, trying to think about now what am I going to do with my life. So my dad always, like, a father always, you have to come forward and encourage the family in that kind of environment, encourage me. But I was now big, man. I know. Now I had this, the pride, like, I'm a genius, I'm a smart guy. Now this was like a big message written in my head, like, you're just ordinary, man. You have to put in effort. If you don't put in effort, you are not anything. Yeah. So I was humbled. Humble.
Yes.
Right? Then we started planning. We said, okay, you go for diploma. Don't worry. I told them, like, that's the thing I wanted to do back in the day. You guys didn't want me to do it. But anyways, no regrets. I'll go for diplomas.
Yes.
So I planned for diploma that I'm going to go to Dar es Salaam, whatever college it is. Just want to study in Dar es Salaam. Dar es Salaam is the business city.
The CBD, Central Business District. Yeah.
So reflecting on, I continued going through Masiyiwa's teachings. I had my notebooks. I remember I was going through Masiyiwa's teachings, learning business, Googling every stuff that I don't find it, I don't understand it, I check it out. Stuff. I continued being on the Masiyiwa's computer. I remember at some point even Masiyiwa featured me in one of his posts later in my life, later when I was in college. But all right, so I decided to go for computer engineering, Dar es Salaam Institute of Technology. It's a college in Dar here. My dad asked me, why are you going to Dar? Why not go to Mbeya, a place you're familiar with? Has low cost of living. You're going to the big city. Very expensive. I told him like that. You know, you don't light the lamp and put it on the bed. You have to put it where it can, you know, shine.
Yeah.
And the only place for me to shine is the big city. So I want to go there. I know I want to do business. Business is in the big city.
Yeah.
So I want to go start IT from Dar because I don't want to end up in Dar. I want to go outside the country someday.
Yeah.
Go maybe do my bachelor's, you know, maybe in Europe, wherever. Which later that mentality, that mindset changed going outside to start outside because I came to Dar with that intention. Like I'll do my diploma, then I'll find a way to go outside the country, start bachelor's degree.
Yeah.
But it changed after following Strive. Every time Strive will say like the future is in Africa. The future is in Africa.
Yeah.
I started investigating. Is it really Strive is saying this or what? Then I started learning things like big companies coming to Africa.
Yeah.
You know, big telecoms, big investment happening in Africa. Then I said, okay. Later in my life, I said, okay, I want to just build a business from Africa. That was my like idea, like my inspiration in life. I said, I want to build a business from Africa. So I came to Dar to start diploma. I think that was 2019 maybe?
Yeah.
Not 2017, 2018, something like that. 2018 or 2017, 2018, something like that.
Yeah.
I came to Dar for my diploma in computer engineering.
Yeah.
Yeah, so started going to school. Man, the diploma, it's a technical college. DIT is a technical college. So it's more about engineering. There are no courses outside engineering. And the policy is to make sure that we have technicians, a lot of them, good technicians. Then we have like engineers. That's the policy for the college. So a diploma is always shaped to be a good technician.
Yes.
So they throw at you a lot of things. And that, for a guy who wants to do IT, is not a very good idea somehow because you won't concentrate, you want to be an expert. You know, it's a field that you need to be an expert in what you say you are. Right?
Yeah.
If you're a good network guy, you have to know the network in and out.
Yeah.
Now, you don't have that time because I remember we had like even mechanic courses. Creating nuts and bolts. I'm here, computer engineer, learning how to create a nut and a bolt. Yeah. So some of the things are good, some of the things were bad, you know. But I think sometime when I reflect at that, I think it was also a privilege. It was a good thing because I have tested a lot of other fields. Yeah. So I know how mechanics work. I have an idea of mechanics. I have an idea of technical drawing. I have an idea of though I'm not good at them, but I know the fields, how they work.
But I think that is the intention. Even in computer science, you learn a lot of stuff. You learn a lot of industries, how they work. But because at the end of the day, you are a solution provider, right? And if you think about it, if you don't know how these industries work, then it's really hard even to figure out how.
Won't be able to think from their angles.
Exactly,
I think that has helped me a lot, even in my current where what I do right now. That has helped me a lot.
What do you do right now?
Right now, I'm a business developer for a fintech.
But you started as a program?
Yeah, I started as a software developer.
Okay. Yeah. So when did you start writing code?
In college, I remember the first year.
The time you were taking the IT?
Yeah. It was hard because I told myself, like, I'm going to diploma, but I want to come out competitive as a degree guy. So that's what I put in myself. I said, I'm going to have my own curriculum on the side. So that started back at home. Before I even joined college, I started learning HTML at home. Yeah, with my smartphone, the one that my dad had bought me. I didn't have a laptop. My bro had a laptop, so sometime I would borrow his laptop to check out some things. So I remember I ran my first web page at home myself without being around a teacher.
How was that experience?
It was so good, man. Nobody was understanding at the village. Nobody knows about what I was so happy, but there was no one to share my joy with. Yeah, so
Not even your family?
Yeah, not even my family, nobody. Like they see like we are happy because you're happy. We're happy for you, right? But they don't understand it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I thought so I started like learning HTML through I installed an app called SoloLearn. Yeah, we have like Web3 schools. I knew them before I even went to diploma. So then I went to diploma now. I connected with other guys from my O levels that were going to do engineering. Yeah, I said okay. So because I started posting snippets of code on my Facebook, so that some guys understood the thing. We started connecting like, this is programming, right? Yeah, man. I'm going to do programming in college. Yeah, me too. So we started connecting from my community, Facebook community. So when I came to college, I had a lot of things, a big curriculum at school, first of all. Then I have my own curriculum on the side. Yeah, so which is going in a very different direction.
Yes.
Yeah, the school curriculum, I'm learning entrepreneurship, I'm learning business writing, I'm learning, a lot of things that I don't like them. By the way,
why did you learn them if you didn't like them?
By the way, I have one thing. I've never been a fan of being told what. Yeah, since O levels. I remember during my O level time was like a teacher might be teaching history. I have a physics book on the side. I'm solving my own questions while following up with the teacher. So when he's working, the class comes near me, I switch the textbook to the the notes book to the When he goes forward, I pull up I have my own schedule. So I went with that.
Did that help a lot in choosing what you want to do?
Yeah, that mindset helped me. Like a rebellious kind of mindset somehow, not conforming to. I always question things. Even my dad, as a pastor, we always debate with him about a lot of things. My dad will preach right now, a sermon. We'll go home and we'll debate about it.
Oh, okay.
We'll argue about it.
Like, so you tell him you're lying to the congregants.
This is not it. Like God can't do this. So he will start bringing up. Takes some time we will agree to disagree. A lot of times, even up to date, it happens. A lot of time we agree to disagree, and I'll tell him I have to do my own research. Maybe someday I'll fall in the same page. But for now, I think let's everybody separate with their own perception of things.
Your dad the relationship with you looks interesting.
Yeah. My dad relationships. I remember at some time telling some of my friends were like, "Man, you do that with your dad? Man, your dad is so cool, man." So my dad.
I also find him cool. So nice. So did he inspire you to find your own path himself, or where did this come from?
My dad is a democratic kind of a guy. Despite being a pastor, but he's a very democratic guy. He can't force you to go to church. Though at church it was a policy to go to church every Sunday, but that was coming from mom. Mom is the family policy.
Oh, okay.
You have to be in the line. But dad is that person who comes and bring in some of the neutralized stuff. So you go to church, you don't go to church. Sometimes he'll just let you where are you not going?
Okay.
No,
are you spiritual or religious?
Me, I'm spiritual. I'm not religious. Not that much of religious guy.
Why?
I like questioning things, and sometimes being religious, sometimes it has some principles, some I don't know how to call them, like doctrines that are just religious. They're nothing to do with the the teachings of the Bible, or some things are just human things. Now those are things that are carried with the religion. Right. So I question a lot of things. And some of the things can be a taboo to some of the Christians. But being a son of a pastor and questioning them to my dad, a pastor, and seeing his reaction taught me that most of these washirika, members of the congregations, don't really understand this thing. It's because they are congregate members. But me coming from the leadership, church leadership, I question a lot of things. So I can't say I'm a religious guy, but I'm spiritual, of course.
Yes. So after you learned HTML, what else did you learn in coding?
So at school we started learning C programming. They started teaching C programming, but that was second year. The whole first year we never studied anything about code at college the whole first year. But I had already started catching up with HTML.
Yeah.
And at this time, I really insisted my dad buys me a laptop. Yeah, so he bought me a laptop the second semester. I told him, you know what, Dad? If I'm to do this thing, I really need a laptop. I explained to him, like, you can't be a fundi if you do not have the tools to do.
True. Yeah.
So, and the laptop with the tool. And I told him, like, this thing I've taken, it has a lot of opportunities in the future. I think I'll make a good living out of it. So my dad, he bought me that because remember the one thing had happened in the family. For me going to college, it was another expense that had been factored. Because college, we have loans. So the family had not put that into consideration. What if Justine failed to go to college? It wasn't in the equation. So it was not a predetermined factor. Now the family
they had to pay for it.
Yeah, they had to pay for my school fees, my siblings' fees. So I was very skeptical even to asking for money from Dad. Yeah, at this time. So,
but the laptop had to be there. So one factor I've found common with a couple of devs I've talked to in Tanzania, or we have had a conversation with, is that laptop is really paramount to even it's like tool of trade, right?
Yeah.
Do you think maybe since the time you're struggling to get a laptop until now, things have changed a bit? Because in Kenya, actually, when I used to, I don't know, I told you I've been doing this for a couple of years now, over a decade. And I used to go to these schools to try and, share the knowledge, do some activities around, developers. And one thing is that people didn't have laptops, a lot of them.
Yeah.
And now when I go to those same campuses, even lower classes, I find majority have laptops. So you can find one laptop is used by say 5 or 3 to 5 people.
Yeah.
As opposed before, one laptop, it was like 10 people are using one laptop. So even learning from that is really hard. So that means only 1 or 2 people actually get the skills as you share them. And then after that, remember, they're not going with this laptop back in their dormitory. Do you think is the same case here? And if the same case here, do you think what should be done about it?
Yeah, I think it's the same case here in Tanzania. It's the same case in a lot of countries. I've also observed Nigeria, for example, the same case. I think what has to be done is we need to, if we want to build a tech nation, right? Want to raise a tech generation. There is no way we will avoid providing these two things. One, the laptops, the tools, software, gadgets. 2, the internet.
Yes.
Yeah. So there is no way we bypass that. I remember even at college, I came to realize later, like we had computer labs at college, and it wasn't, it's very restricted. It's like a holy place and stuff. But
even opening hours is
opening hours very restricted. I think for a tech institution and a tech institution.
Do they install firewall in the computers in the labs here? Where you can't install something in the machine?
At DIT, that was not the case.
Okay.
My experience. That was. I came to realize even at my high school, Kumbe, we had a computer lab, and we had never used it.
So is it just for formality that there's a computer lab?
Yeah, I think.
Or there was no one qualified to teach?
I think there's some donors, maybe, I don't know, or some non-government organizations, maybe that. Or maybe a government policy at some point in life, they decided to install those labs. Some schools have labs. Yeah,
but they're not used.
Yeah, they're not utilized the way they're supposed to be utilized.
Okay.
It's supposed to be a subject, actually. The way you have like general studies, we have to have computer studies as a really subject. Someone has to do it,
and it goes a long way to ensure that people are getting that getting the information when they need it.
Yeah, because one thing in Tanzania, we have like every school has a lab, right? Computer lab, and at end of the year, every student had to do a practical exam for people that are doing science subjects.
Okay.
Right? I think that should be also implemented in the ICT. Like we should have a computer subject, and at every end of the year, every student should at least do a practical ACT exam.
Yeah.
Because on the science subject, the student will do a practical exam, tools at the lab, right? It's not a bad thing. Even the computer, we stay at school at the lab. It's okay.
Yeah.
Have sessions for students to go and do the computer sessions.
Yeah.
So I think that should be the case.
So Justine, that was really interesting to share, and I would like to hear more. Like, were you involved in the community, and how did you transition to business developer?
Yeah. I've been fortunate to be part of like a product of the community. As you have seen my story from the church, school, So at DIT, I started, I remember with one of my friends that was first year. We were in first year. We said, okay, we just connected and we had the same. I wanted to create a website. So I asked around the class, how can I create a website very fast? I have a client. And with WordPress, who is good with WordPress? And someone pointed me to one of my friends. His name is Joachim. So Joachim knows those stuff. So I checked with Joachim. Joachim, can you do this? He said, yeah, sure, we can do it. So I secured the deal. It was a museum in Bagamoyo. They wanted a website. And I talked to Joachim. That was our first. We said, maybe we can do business. We can venture into this thing and start creating a website for people. Yeah. So we created the first WordPress website. We got paid like a very little amount of money. The museum never paid us the rest of the money. Yeah. So then we said, okay, bro, let's... you know what? We had laptops, but we had no internet. We had no a place where we can sit and do our stuff. At DIT, every class is busy. So we don't have a place. We have like free time, but we don't have a place where we can go sit and do stuff. So we said, let's go Boni Hub. We went to Boni Hub. We talked to the management. They asked us, because at Boni, to join there at the time, you had to be either a freelancer or individual or a business. So
entrepreneur.
Yeah. So they asked us, so what are you joining in as? Because like for individuals, they have their own support programs. For business, they have their own support programs. So they told us like we told them we want to join in as a startup, a business. What are you guys doing? We're creating a website for people. I said, okay. So what do you have any bank statements and stuff? He said, no, man, we are not even registered. We're just two guys creating a website for people. We don't have that. So they asked a lot of business-oriented questions that were big for us, tough questions. So like, do you have any financial projection? The hell is that? Financial projection, man. We just created the first website. So we left that place with, they said, okay, so you guys go think about it. Think about the question we asked you, then come back later. Maybe we'll have another conversation about it. Outside the gate, I told Joachim, like, yo, man, this thing, is it supposed to be this tough? I think we're being asked a lot of hard questions. And what we want is we want a place where we can work and the internet. Only that. But they're asking us a lot of questions. Joachim told me, you know what, man? Do you think this Facebook guy just came out easy? It had to be tough, man. This thing has to be tough. Then later on, we had another client for a website. The client wanted a very fancy website. He said it was a production studio, like a marketing agency. He said, yo, guys, because someone mentioned, like, we are looking for someone to design a website. Went there, me and my guy. He said, so we are the people that are creating websites. You give us the deal. He said, let me see your portfolio. He said, we don't have a big portfolio, but this is one of the projects we're having right now. The museum website. The director of that agency checked the website and said, these kids don't know what I want. These are not the kids. These are not the people I'm looking for. So he said, like, yo, guys, I think you guys have a good thing going on. If you do it well, you'll have a good business later on. But right now, I don't think you guys are the right people because check, this is my competitor's website. It was a very fancy website. It's a lot of nations, pictures, and they said, like, so do you think you guys can create this? I think no, right? Tell him, yeah, because we are not confident that much. Right, so we left there very down with my guy, like, man, so what are we going to do? Joachim was so skeptical about learning code. I told him, like, bro, if you want to, let's go all in. Let's learn code. Then after that, Joachim told me, like, you know what, Justin, you were right. We should learn code. Today, we got embarrassed because we are not learning these stuffs effective. So from that day, we started learning programming serious. That was our first year. So it went that way, learning a lot of tutorials. Today you're learning Python. Tomorrow you're learning PHP, jumping around a lot, not having a particular direction. Then second year, when I was second year, I think this was 2020. It was 2019, I think, somewhere there. Andela came in. Andela, I heard of the Andela learning community in Tanzania. think at that time Mandela had a lot of learning communities in a lot of countries that were going on. They had partners with open classrooms.
Facebook
very nice,
had funded them. There was Google. So
they had a very nice curriculum for someone who wants to learn web development. I joined that. It's when I got into the community now. I think the community was a very helpful thing. I was enjoying learning on the community than I was learning in school. Because by the way, as I told you, I don't like schooling. I don't like being told what to learn, what to do. So now I had this place where every Saturday we'll meet with other developers, other peers who are learning. So experience the same challenges, the same. There are moments where you don't feel like going on, but you realize on the community you can talk to someone, and that person tells you, you know what, I am also going through that same thing. And you come across a senior developer, someone working for a big tech company. Maybe for Vodacom or any other company, they tell you like, you know what, even me sometimes I feel that way. All right, so you have this feeling, imposter syndrome. Feel like, is this thing even for me? And then you come across this senior guy working maybe at World Bank telling you like, you know what, I too sometimes feel an imposter. So it's a common thing. You know, you start learning those. How do you now resolve things? You know, as someone new to tech, to code, you will think like you have the picture from the movies, like you know everything. That's not the case in real code life.
True.
A lot of Googling. So you have to go Google.
And tech actually changes every time.
I remember at some point I had this problem from the program, and I wasn't knowing how to go about it. The guy told me like, okay, Justin, what do you think here the solution might be? I told him, I don't know. That's how that's why you are my mentor. I think you know it. No. He told me, let's Google it. So seeing the thought process, whole problem solving process, you know, from the community. So it went from learning how to code, actually, how to, you know, learning the technologies, to even learning how the job market. Started connecting with people. I started connecting with people from Kenya. I started connecting with people from, from Nigeria. You know, before joining these communities, I had already started learning other stuffs like marketing. Because me, I'm into tech because I like business. So when I'm bored, where I run to is into business. It can be business news. It can be a course, marketing, for example. I was into digital marketing. I had even had copybooks about digital marketing before I committed myself 100% to code. So I come again. My knowledge in marketing came to the community. Because during the community event, for example, we have an event that will be on Twitter, shouting about it, tweeting about it. You know. That's something that is lacking in Tanzania, right? It's not like the Tanzanian tech ecosystem is not there. There are people doing great things. There are people doing big innovations. They are there. There are people working for Silicon Valley. I know them, developers from Tanzania. I know a guy. He's a tech lead for a company in Silicon Valley. But the thing is, I think the Tanzanian how Tanzania has been built from the foundation. It's not that much of an aggressive thing. You know, Tanzanians are calm people. You know, we do, one of the things we do not, we're very careful not to do is to boast or show off. But then we overdo that. So you find someone doing cool things, but they don't talk about it.
True.
So I saw that. So during the event with the Andela community, I stepped up. I will be in an event, someone speaking, a keynote, and I'll be doing a summary on Twitter to the public. That was not something so comfortable to do. Because I was new even to Twitter. I wasn't used to it. You know, Twitter, how it is built, like Twitter Tanzania, will find like you might think these people know each other. Right? How Twitter Instagram. Tanzania is.
You guys are big on Instagram.
Yeah. So Twitter Tanzania, how it is.
Almost everyone in Tanzania has 1 million followers on.
No, not the tech guys, not me.
No, I'm just saying. But generally, actually, you are big on Instagram.
On Instagram, right?
And it's a good thing, and also I think it tells like if you put in work in the right places, you could claim your place, and not only claim your place, but also even grow as a tech ecosystem.
Yeah.
So, Justin, I would like you to give a parting shot for our audience who are joining us on Twitter.
Yeah.
And also for our podcast listeners and vlog viewers as we come to the conclusion.
All right. Yeah. So I think there are things that should be done by the Tanzanian. I want to talk to the Tanzanian tech ecosystem.
Yeah.
For us to grow our tech, there are things that we need to do.
Yes.
At individual levels, at the general public as a community, and at the government levels. At individual levels, I think we need to learn from our brothers in Kenya and Nigeria. These guys are stepping up. I was in this Twitter space with the Kenyan community, crypto community, or the blockchain community, I should say.
Yeah.
People are planning to do lobbying in the government to make sure the blockchain agenda goes through, fellow youth are planning that. But here in Tanzania, you see most of the time we are in the space complaining a lot. Maybe more than doing things and planning how do we come up. There's this thing in Tanzania, it's a bad catch, I think, whereby someone will explain a very big solution, a very good one, and will say this word, tatizo. Tatizo, the government is not aware of these things.
Tatizo is problem in English.
Tatizo, right? The problem is, this, we can do this, we can do that. Someone can build a very big mansion in the sky, in the air, and again will come to tell you, the problem is there is no water. So you won't move.
They're always starting with the problem or ending with the problem.
Yeah, starting with the problem and ending with the problem. That I try. I know I'm a victim of that. I try a lot to not to put the word tatizo in my conversations, because once you put that, it's a blocker. So at an individual level, I think we have to push ourselves. If there is a problem, find a solution, right? I know internet is a problem, right? That's an opportunity. It's an opportunity to talk to. It's an opportunity to build something around it. The government policy is a problem, right? It's a problem even in Nigeria. Youth are fighting. Even in Nigeria, I think it's the worst. Youth are fighting in the streets. People protesting just to have that security as techies. We here, I can walk around with my laptop to home, and no security forces will arrest me or do an inspection on me. I have just to put myself safe in like any other place. We have that peace in our country, though we have crime and stuff, but that's how it is in average societies.
Yes.
So we have good things going on. We should see that and take opportunities. I like our startup community, Tanzania startup community leader, Mr. Zahoro. He puts it this way, like, invite yourself at the table. Don't wait to be invited in. We are born, we are outside, right? We just need to invite ourselves at the table. All right. So that's at individual level, but at the government level, I think the government also has a role to play in this. I was having a conversation with you before the podcast. You told me how the Kenyan government, strategized that having those we see right now, the big tech, like the big tech coming in Kenya, the tech ecosystem growing up. Of course, the government has a role to play. They have to make sure that they are putting the right strategy, right policies, not to try to shrink or take control of everything, but let things grow. The government has to put in place good structures, policies, to make sure that it goes forward. Like as a whole community now, we have to celebrate our heroes. Have to if someone is doing something unconventional, we have to celebrate them. Celebrate people like Benjamin Fernandez, what they are doing with Nala Mane, putting us on the spotlight, putting us on the map. Celebrate our heroes like Haulei, who is doing a good thing with Swahilis. Swahili Pay. A lot of those guys. Celebrate them and encourage them to keep pushing forward.
Yes. I can't agree more, Justin. And I think at this point, what I can say is that this is just a conversation that just started, and in the next maybe 5-10 years, we'll be seated. If not here, we'll be seated here in Tanzania, having a review process, and I'm sure it will be something bigger than, because if 2018 to now, and given the corona situation, you guys lost a president, I can see there is a quite good improvement in the ecosystem, and most of you actually by then maybe were either in high school or technical school, and right now you're doing amazing stuff. So there is a big hope in this, especially in tech ecosystem. So without further ado,
I think before we end it, I also must congratulate you guys. I think you have challenged me telling the African story. That's a very nice thing you guys are doing. And telling actually this is the African story, but I see it like I'm telling the Tanzanian story now. The Kenyan guy asking me about the Tanzanian story. I think I'm challenged to come to Kenya someday and listen to the African story from Kenya. I myself, as the Kenyan guy.
Sure. You're welcome anytime, bro.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. So this is actually not a Kenyan asking a Tanzanian. This is
an African asking an African, right?
Yeah. And we are so many actually in the world if you think about it. So don't be surprised if you see me in Atlanta, talking to another African in US. So because I'm committed to do this, and just as Africa's talking, we're also committed to tell African story. We want to do it like intentionally. So don't worry if you don't see yourself maybe in the near future. We have so many things scheduled, but we will put you there.
We'll cross paths again.
For sure. Thank you so much, our viewers and our listeners. We come to an end for these TZ conversations with Justine, but don't log out so fast. We're coming back for the last conversation about Tanzania tech ecosystem. Without further ado, I would like to talk about Africa's Talking powers conversation across Africa. We power the communication between businesses, governments, and organizations of all sizes and their customers or citizens on our SMS, USSD, airtime, voice gateways, bundle, data bundle, and APIs. Africa's Talking supports GDPR, data compliant communication on our future-ready customer data platform, Ilarian. And don't forget, this Thursday, we are in Tanzania, Buniha Innovation Hub, doing a full-day workshop together with Atlas and Community Nairobi, in collaboration with Africa Ruby community, Ilarian, and we want to meet developers. We want to build with developers, and this is just a start. So we're also planning to build a couple of communities here to bring the same awesomeness that is happening in Kenya and across Africa, because at the end of the day, it takes a village. It's your host, Michael Kimathi, or MK if you want. See you.